Mafia, the Doness table, had no room for regret. Mitchell Corleone was the youngest son of Vito Corleone, the head of the Corleone family in New York City. Michael was the black sheep of the family. He didn't take part in the illegal activities of his father and brothers. Instead, he chose to work as a war hero and attended university. But that doesn't mean he wasn't respected by his family. However, when Sonny was killed, the family needed someone who could replace him. That's when Michael got involved with the family business and became the new Don. When Michael took over the family business, he made sure that there would be no mistakes like his brother made. And one of those mistakes was having people at the family table that shouldn't have been there. Here's why Michael kicked his sister and her husband out of the family table. Before we start, remember to hit the subscribe button so you won't miss any new stories from us. Also, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up to inspire us. Michael wanted to send a message to the other families. He made Connie and her husband, Huey, sit at a separate table during a family dinner. The famous scene took place in the iconic Godfather Part 2 movie. Michael is now the head of the Corleone family after killing his brother, Canone, who was also the head of the family at that time. Frito, Connie, and their father, Vito Corleone, were also present at the meeting. However, Connie's husband, Hugh, was not welcome. In the scene, Michael is shown sitting at the head of the table with his siblings and father. Meanwhile, Connie and her husband are seen sitting at a separate table to the side, watching them closely. The scene shows the power struggle between Michael and his uncle, Tom Hagen. It also shows how Connie and her husband weren't accepted into the family. Connie was married to Hugh Hefner, a man who wasn't involved in the Mafia. Connie had fallen in love with him and married him despite knowing that it would cause problems within her family. Her father, Vito, never approved of the relationship and forbade them from seeing each other. Connie and Hugh eloped, but Vito still refused to accept him into the family. Hefner had tried to ingratiate himself with the Corleones by agreeing to front money for the family's business. He even went so far as to say that he didn't mind if the money was earned through legitimate or illegitimate means. This only made Vito more suspicious of him, and it seemed like he would never become part of the family. When Sonny was killed, Connie and her husband were in Las Vegas. She couldn't attend her brother's funeral because she was 8 months pregnant. Michael didn't appreciate her coming to the family compound so soon after her brother's death, but he did tell her that he had saved her a seat at the family table. This was a dark foreshadowing of what was to come later, because she was indeed given a seat at the family table, but not next to her father or any of her siblings. She sat alone at a small table beside the main dining table with her husband. Michael didn't want to include her and her husband in the family gathering, because he didn't trust them. When Connie and her husband entered the room, everyone stopped talking. Connie's husband tried to make small talk with some of the men, but they ignored him. He sat down next to his wife and tried to comfort her, but she pushed him away. She was crying and begged her husband to leave. He left the room but came back to try to comfort her again, only to be told to go away once again. Michael then got up from his chair and walked toward the other table where Connie and her husband were sitting. He looked at his sister and said, "I saved you a seat." Connie didn't respond. Michael continued, "You should consider yourself very lucky. No one in this room feels the same way about you that I do. I was the one who told my brother to leave you out of his will." Connie started to cry. Michael turned to her husband and said, "You don't belong here. Okay, if I wanted you here, I would have invited you." He then turned off the lights and left the room. Connie and her husband were shocked and humiliated. They didn't understand why Michael was treating them so badly. After all, they had done nothing wrong. Connie thought that she could count on her brother, but she was wrong. Michael had no sympathy for her. He was cold and calculating and didn't care about how his actions would affect others. She had always thought of herself as a good person, but now she wasn't so sure. She had made a lot of mistakes in her life, but she didn't think that they were that bad. Now she was paying the price for her sins, but she didn't know what to do about it. Michael had sent a clear message to his sister and her husband that they were not welcome in the family. Connie felt humiliated and betrayed. She had always been close to her family, but now she was being treated like an outsider. She didn't know what to do. She felt like she was in a nightmare that she couldn't wake up from. Connie had always been strong and independent. She had taken care of herself since she was a child. But now she was feeling helpless. She didn't know what to do or where to turn for help. Connie was scared. She didn't know what Michael was capable of. She had seen him kill people before, and she knew that he wouldn't hesitate to do it again. She felt like she was in danger, but she didn't know why. She had never done anything to hurt her brother, and she didn't know what she had done to make him turn against her. Connie was desperate. She needed help, but she didn't know where to turn. She had no one to turn to except her husband, but he was no longer welcome in the family. Connie was trapped. She didn't know what to do. She felt like she was in a nightmare that she couldn't wake up from. It's easy to see why Michael didn't want Connie and her husband at the family table. They weren't part of the family, and Michael was trying to keep things simple. He didn't need the drama that Connie and her husband would bring. Additionally, Connie had been critical of Michael in the past, and he held a grudge against her. By kicking them out of the family table, he was sending a message to Connie that she had crossed the line, and she wouldn't be able to come back. The scene where Michael kicks Connie and her husband out of the family table is one of the most iconic scenes in The Godfather. It's a powerful display of Michael's ruthlessness, and it shows just how far he's willing to go to protect his family's interests. Connie and her husband are both shocked and humiliated by Michael's treatment of them. They don't understand why he's treating them so badly. But Michael doesn't care about their feelings. He's only concerned with protecting his family. The scene also shows the power struggles within the Corleone family. Michael is trying to assert his dominance, and he is sending a message to the other members of the family that he is in charge now. Connie and her husband's presence at the table is a challenge to Michael's authority, and he makes it clear that he won't tolerate it. Overall, Connie and her husband's removal from the family table is a pivotal moment in The Godfather. It shows the ruthless side of Michael, and it sets the stage for the events that follow. What do you think? Why do you think Michael kicked Connie and her husband out of the family table? Let us know in the comments below. We hope you enjoyed this video, and we invite you to share your thoughts with us. If you liked this story, please give us a thumbs up, and remember to subscribe so you won't miss any new videos from us. Thanks for watching.